Overall thoughts on the film?
Pretty bad, but
They let this old man cook. He cooked all by himself, and I don't know what's come out of the kitchen.
I loved it. Not gonna lie, it made me feel almost every emotion.
I had an out-of-body experience, man. I don't know what I just saw, but that was crazy.
Favorite Francis Ford Coppala movie?
Other than this one, Dracula.
And objectively, who's the best director of all time?
I'm gonna give it to Coppola. He's probably my favorite.
Ooh, top 4. Mount Rushmore. All right, guys, we are just out of the theater for the premiere of Megalopolis, Francis Ford Coppala's latest film. I mean, the director of the Godfather trilogy, The Conversation, Apocalypse Now, truly a legend of cinema. This was a $120 million production budget. This guy actually sold a winery just to fund this film. This premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. It's now getting fully distributed out worldwide. So let's go see what people think of the film. Out of theater reactions, overall thoughts on the film?
Honestly, man, I loved it. Not gonna lie, it made me feel almost every emotion. Like,
That's Coppola.
dude, I loved it. It was crazy.
Okay.
It was a crazy experience. Out of body.
Yeah, I had an out-of-body experience, man. I don't know what I just saw, but that was crazy. That was amazing. I will see it again.
We'll see it again.
It was definitely ambitious, but I wouldn't say it's his best. But it's pretty much what you do when you save $100 million for your own project for so long.
I think the tapping into like 1920s like German avant-garde stuff is like, oh, that's nice. But I think for most folks, it might be a little too much for them.
It was the weirdest movie I've seen in a long time. Still interesting. I feel like it's very difficult for an average moviegoer to really understand or appreciate a lot of the symbolism or parallels.
Overall thoughts on the film?
pretty bad. But Shia LaBeouf was great in drag for like 3/4 of the movie. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It felt like Tommy Wiseau on psychedelics.
I'm fed up with this world.
What a bewildering piece of cinema. They let this old man cook. No, they didn't let him cook. He had to self-finance this. He cooked all by himself, and I don't know what's come out of the kitchen.
It was insane. It was beautiful. I kind of hate it, kind of love it. I'm glad I saw it. You know, that's the least I can say.
Okay, and the worst part of the film was the acting. Was it just the overall scale of it? Was it too much of a passion project?
I don't know if it's too much of a passion project. I just don't think it was. I don't think it was well made at all. You could see it was.
Wow.
I don't know where the $100 million went.
It was very artsy, but it had no substance.
They just make so many strange directorial choices. You can tell that the entire art department quit.
Wow.
The best part was the dialogue because none of it made any sense, and you could tell that it was cobbled together over 40 years.
Maybe like the beginning was like kind of like slow to get into, but honestly, like once it hit that halfway point, it was just off. I mean, honestly, the whole movie is just off the wall.
The worst part is probably screw her.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Some really weird things happened. Those were the worst parts of the movie.
Megalopolis, what would you rate it out of 10?
Probably like a, fuck it, 10. 10 out of 10.
No, that's a 10 out of 10. Like, you're not getting that again.
2.
4 or 5.
Holy.
Right now, I just feel like it's kind of a 5 out of 10 to me because he did it, but at the same time, I felt like it was very slow and very monocative in terms of what he's trying to say.
I think it's a 9. It was well executed, but, to each their own.
I know I liked it better than The Godfather, so 10.
Oh my gosh, are you... Okay, let's go.
I would say a 10.
Okay, right on.
Every so often there's a movie that you don't give a rating to and you're just forced to put, yes, I like this movie.
It's a letterboxed heart.
Yeah, a letterboxed heart. I give this movie a letterboxed heart out of 10.
Aww. I gotta go with my trusty 7 out of 10.
Francis Ford Coppala, obviously one of the greatest. What's your favorite film of his?
Definitely Apocalypse Now. I'm a huge Francis Ford Coppala fan. I like Bram Stoker's Dracula as well. And I thought maybe this would be stylized like that. But God, this feels so soulless, even though I know it's a passion project, unfortunately.
I've actually never seen any of his other films, but he directed The Godfather, right?
Absolutely, Godfather. So.
Honestly, probably Rumblefish.
I've never watched that, but I heard about that.
It's a great movie. It's a great film.
Mickey Rourke.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
It will probably be The Conversation.
I mean, to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Coppola films, so usually it's always going to be Apocalypse Now.
Godfather Part 1.
Part 1, yes. Part 1 is the best.
Other than this one, Dracula.
Dracula.
Easily.
Dracula, okay.
This one.
Okay, Megalopolis.
I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I haven't seen many of these.
Chief. Godfather trilogy. Any of those?
I've only seen the first Godfather, and it was real good, and I liked it better than this. But I also think that this was something else.
Oh, interesting. I'm so intrigued about watching this.
The Godfather, definitely The Godfather.
Part 1.
This movie almost reminded me of The Godfather. Oh, the first one. Just a little bit. A lot of old men talking, a lot of politics. Really interesting.
And objectively, who's the best director of all time?
Oh, that's tough.
I know, tough question.
I'm going to say David Cronenberg.
Cronenberg?
I love The Fly, man.
Hey, the new film, The Substance, people talking about, you know.
We're gonna watch that. I'm gonna give it to Coppola. He's probably my favorite.
Ooh, top 4. Mount Rushmore.
Oh, definitely Paul Thomas Anderson.
PTA, okay, modern day cinema.
You can definitely tell he's passionate about his project. You know, there's something about him that I really want to be someday.
Since no one will mention him, Ken Mizoguchi.
Gut goes with Christopher Nolan. I know some people
this
don't.
is my guy right here.
Justine Triet, just for Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall last year.
I'm gonna have to second on the Justine Triet Anatomy of a Fall.
I always find myself eternally entertained by anything that Wes Anderson puts out. It's very different, and I appreciate that.
I'm not going to give an answer as twee as the rest of y'all. I'm going to give something a little more dorky. I'm a big John Carpenter fan.
John Carpenter?
You know, a lot of 80s horror, big fan of that.
All right, guys, so those are reactions to Megalopolis. Francis Ford Coppala. I mean, a ton of mixed reactions. I don't even know what to expect still for this movie. Am I expecting true cinema with 10 out of 10s or just like absolute trash? I'm going to be honest, his recent films haven't been great. It was all sold out for this premiere experience, so we'll see what it is this Friday coming up, but that's Megalopolis. Go check it out. There's a $120 million budget. I mean, I don't even know if it's going to make its money back, but let's not make it Megaflopolis because we don't want that for Francis Ford Coppala, but I think we have to still support the legend of Francis Ford Coppala himself. But hopefully it's going to be a good film. These are the first reactions. Again, mixed reviews. But we'll see what the overall audience thinks once it's released out later this week. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe. And please check out more content on this channel. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.